Welcome. Welcome to Miracles, Magic, Healing, Miracles, Magic, and Coffee with Ilia Kavoukis and Ralph Havens. And today we're going to talk about something about why would you do what's called inner work, the deep healing of emotional stuff and all that, whatever that is. Why would you do that? And can it really make a difference to get business growth, your business to grow, to get you what you want in life? Shouldn't you just be doing physical things? Why this inner work? And so I'm super excited to have Ilia on. Ilia, welcome. Thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure, Ralph. Thank you. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So we're going to just get right to it. Like, I can talk about Ilia and how amazing she is and the work that she's done and who she helps. But right now, I think we'll just go straight to what happened to you, because you're a business coach, you're a healer, you help people heal deep stuff, and they get big changes in their life, in their business, and also in their happiness. But something happened to you that shifted the way you think. You don't think like a lot of business coaches, for sure, and you do something that is a way to get what you want in life, but different. So can you just tell us a little bit about what happened to you, or how did you come to be doing what you do, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, sure. Well, I've been a massage therapist, body worker, energy healer for about 27 years in Quebec, and moved from the big city of Montreal. I had a dream, wanted to be in a country setting with a beautiful center and, have my clients and all of that and live in the country. And I managed to do that. And then when I was here, there was some challenges for sure at the beginning. And I just noticed that my mindset was so negative. Like, I would never really see all the things that I was achieving. It was constant, like, oh, well, you only have one client today, or you only have two clients today, or the phone's not ringing. And it would be like constantly beating up on myself, not seeing my value, not seeing what I'm actually contributing and what I am doing. And the fact that I did realize part of my dream was to come to the country setting and have a beautiful center. And been learning and learning and learning. If I wasn't working, I was learning. I was on the internet trying to figure things out, trying to add more tools to my belt so I can be more valuable, because I didn't value myself. And the truth is, we as women, and some men as well, we have this thing about imposter syndrome. We think what we're doing is not good enough. We think that one day people are going to figure out that we're not, who we say we are, or who other people say we are. And that really slows us down. It pushes that part of us, that valuable part of us down, and we don't get to see the true value in ourselves. And we're constantly fighting against that monster, that feeling that we're like an imposter. But the truth is, when we do just give ourselves like a little bit of credit, little bit, and then we see, wow, I am valuable, I have some worth. So that's working on the inner stuff, and that's what I've been doing. And that's
what made you, yeah, and I know you do deep work like that, and but most entrepreneurs, even healers and coaches, they don't do it quite like you do it. And what happened to make you think that, to realize that you're the mindset and what you were telling yourself, and not being grateful for all the stuff you were creating and always looking at the negative? What made you realize that was an area of focus? Like, why didn't you just keep trying to get more skills and get better at business and figure out how to get more people into your world? What happened that, because you're down a road that is a bit different than most healers even.
Yeah, because like you said, after trying to add, many tools and modalities in the hopes that I would be better and recognized by the others, by my peers, I realized that after adding so many and getting really good, certificates and programs, and I realized, what? Still not where I want to be, still not happy, still struggling on the inside, even though I've got all the certificates on the wall saying that I shouldn't, that I should be, or I should have arrived. It still wasn't working. So I had to keep going inside. I had to keep doing my inner work and seeing patterns. You know, like I've been working with people for many years and just recognizing people coming back with the same things over and over again. And they're going, well,
Yeah.
they are reflecting a part of me.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like when I took all those years of what's called matrix energetics, and we saw miracles with energetic healing of people with chronic illnesses and all sorts of stuff. But and while there was miracles, and my life was definitely getting a lot of miracles showing up, I was noticing as I kept going back to these classes that, yeah, but so many of them, their lives still suck. Like they're still got some chronic stuff going on, and they definitely have money issues going on, and they've got a lot of negative talk going on. And it's like, wow, they're not getting what they really want. And so I noticed that too. There's so you were getting some business success in your healing work, and you were getting success with some of your clients, a lot of your clients, but there was more and more this something happening in you that was shifting the way you did things. Yeah, kind of
Yeah, it's recognizing that negative talk that you were talking about, Ralph. This is what is our biggest roadblock, is where we're doing the affirmations, we're doing the meditations, we're doing all the yoga or whatever you're doing, the qigong or whatever you're doing. But if you're not aware of what you're doing most of the time, which is that negative talk, which is constantly bombarding you with, oh my God, you won't have enough. You won't have enough. You're not enough. This is not it. This is not, oh, look what she's doing. Look what he's doing. Oh, I need to go back to school. You know, all that negative talk is putting out a vibration. It's
I
putting out
remember I got a little
signal.
story about that, because I remember once I had a really big 5 therapists working for me in San Diego, and doing great. And back in went back to San Antonio, Texas for Christmas once, and that movie came out, The Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith, and you know how his life had crumbled and he was dead broke, and but then he made it out. And I was doing well. We knew how to like get clients, we knew how to help clients, and part of me was like scared that here I'm taking a week off, I'm going to go back and nobody's going to show up to my office. I'm like, we're packed, but I had this fear. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so you were successful, things were going well, but there was still something in here. Tell us a little bit more about the next things that happened, like, because I opened up a little bit about like how you do things differently than, and how do you turn off the mind? Does the mindset change? Do you have now you just think better, or what happened?
Well, you know, the mind will constantly berate you with things that, you know, it's kind of our defense mechanism. It thinks it's protecting us. It's giving us all these message of danger, danger, be careful, be careful. Oh no, watch this, watch that. But the truth is, we can calm it down. We can be aware of it and not let it stick.
Kind of like it's like a crazy person talking or something, like,
That's right. Yeah. And we can go, yeah, I hear you. I know that this is a possibility. I know you're concerned about this, but we got this. We got this. Look, we have all this proof of all the things we have been doing. Look, we survived all these years, you know, and we're doing things. So that's how way you can talk to your mind. That's what I do. You can talk to that part of you that's scared. And doing the work that we do in the program, it's amazing how it calms that down so that it doesn't run the show. That is the big deal, because it's going to come. The thoughts are going to come, and maybe new thoughts will come in. The more you stretch, the more you grow, the more you put yourself out there, there'll be more thoughts.
The next
but
thought.
knowing that you can overcome those thoughts by going, no, yeah, I know you feel that way, but it's okay. We got this.
Yeah, you know, I remember I transitioned from working with people hands-on, and we were up here in the Pacific Northwest, and we were trying to figure out like, well, how do we bring our healing work to the world online? And this was back in 2014. And I had a friend from San Diego, another healer, and he kept saying, you got to go see this guy. I'll give credit where we first found it, Christian Michelson. And he says, you got to go, he's got this healing thing. And I'm like, healing thing? I'm a healer. I don't need a healing thing. I need to learn how to do business, man. I need to like, how do I take this healing work and reach the world? He goes, well, you should see him. And I was like, I looked at his stuff and I thought, yeah, it's really simple. Thank you. I'm a healer. You're just a business coach. But my friend kept saying, yeah, but I was in a room and he was talking for 90 minutes to a group of people. And I counted the people that ran back to buy like an $80,000 product. He made like $1.5 million. And I'm like, what? And so then I was like, okay, well, I think I should like pay attention to this. So I went and looked at his stuff, got his book, Abundance Unleashed, and I bought one of the upsells. So a $200 upsell, which was basically a 4-day class that he had recorded of doing this really simple process. He called it the peace process. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And I started doing it and some stuff started happening. My wife literally said, what are you doing, babe? Because this is working. And I'm like, I'm doing this thing. I'd get up at 5 o'clock and I would do a bit of time of this process. And one of the things that really drove it home that this is different, man, was, and it was what sold me on doing this process, is a doctor called me and on the weekend and from Bellingham, from where we had moved to, and started talking to me about sending me people. And did I do a type of therapy called Feldenkrais? It's a type of therapy by Moshe Feldenkrais. It's a movement therapy thing. And I said, no, I don't do that. But I used to have those kind of practitioners in my office in San Diego. And he said, well, yeah, I see you're in San Diego, but it looks like you're in Bellingham too. And I said, well, I'm in Bellingham. And he was reading from a website, but the website had been turned off. I had given up that website. It wasn't on the internet. And he was reading from it. And then he says, well, I'm going to send you people. I like what I'm hearing. I'm going to send you people. So he started sending me people. So I was getting people coming in very magical ways. And that year was when we saw a 50% increase in our money for the year. Our yearly income went up 50%. And it's like, wow, we've got this thing dialed in. And there was next steps of what happened and how we shifted even more. But that made me realize, oh my goodness, yeah, it's not like I just need to go do affirmations or try to think differently or change my mind or somehow turn off this mind. It's like I just do this simple process and something shifts and the world shows up different. And I started taking it to my clients and I was getting all sorts of miracles, even beyond that, for my with my healing work. And I thought, okay, this is why I went down this road and created the Atomic Success Secrets group with you, and why we do it every day with people, because I was like, yeah, it's like, do you have time to do this? Should you really be doing this? This stuff doesn't really work. I just need a good planner so I know what to do and stay focused. There's this energetic thing that you and I do. And so that was my story. That's what made me think like, okay, yeah, I did need a business coach. I did need to learn how to do stuff. I need to learn how to make a website and get this things going. And we did, but there was an energetic shift where it's like, oh my God, people are finding me now. So how did you get to be, because it takes you could be doing physical things to grow your business. You could be, and you are a business coach, rapid business success coach certified. But you do this process and it doesn't take a lot of time, but you do it. How did you come to decide this is what the version you were going to be doing? And you really went deep with this, even deeper than I did with your training on it. So.
Yes, well, I've been doing a version of this peace process for many years, but learning the peace process definitely brought me deeper into it through Christian Michelson's training. And, stumbling along the way, thought I had it figured out, not so much, and then doing more of it. And I feel like I'm healing so many things, like, relationship with my father, my mother, my family, past relationships with people. This stuff goes so deep, because it's all about what goes on in our mind, what we're constantly telling ourselves, and the interpretation of the events in your life.
And the thing is, though, it's like, I know you already know this. It's like people might be thinking, well, okay, so this is like how to turn off your thoughts or turn off your mind. It's like it's not about trying to do to stop that. There's something that's more primary. By that I mean it's like it's simpler for one, and the thoughts will clear and new empowered thoughts do come in, but not by trying to like stop these thoughts or trying to like think better thoughts. It's like there's something that shifts inside doing this simple process. And I know that sounds all mystical and like, well, what is the process? But it's when I first heard it, I missed it. I missed it so many times. And then I went back and looking like, oh my God, my Qigong master has been telling me this for 19 years. Oh my goodness, Eckhart Tolle talked about this in all of his books. It's like, I've missed it every step of the way. And now we're finally getting it. And it's why we're in our Atomic Success Secrets group and doing this every day. Because when we do it for with our people, we get healed too. Yeah, so it's any other story or something that comes to mind that might help people understand a bit more about this way, because this is different than like I know entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs, they talk about thinking differently. You got to think differently. You got to be different so that your clients know that you're different, so that then you can sell them more stuff because you're different on the inside. They talk about that, but they try to do it through thinking differently.
I think what they're referring to when they say think differently is what they're doing is they're saying that thinking that you've been doing so far got you in this mess.
Yeah.
So you need to turn things around. You need to think differently. And that is the key. You're like, well, how do I do that?
How do you do it? Yeah.
Exactly. So the peace process, working on it, because every thought creates a ripple effect in your body. So when we do the peace process, we're thinking the thoughts, like the negative thoughts, right? Like the, oh my God, my house is on fire. You know, what if the fire, because as a matter of fact, we had one example of that, a woman in a fire in her state, and she had to vacate her property because, you know, they was that close. And when she was visiting a friend, she tuned into our group, and I worked with her during the session, and she got to a place of peace.
Isn't that
the fire's still burning, right? But guess what? She got back into her house. She's living in her house now.
Because what happened? Like, how did
it? The fire never got to her.
Oh, so she changed something, and then
that's right.
The fire changed or
that's
shifted.
Right. That's right. Wow. And I did that a couple of times. I did it with a friend of mine. Yeah, I won't say names, but somebody else was having a fire in Montana. Okay, the army is like, you got to get out of your house, and she's like, no, my house, my ranch, my horses, my stuff, my tchotchkes and all of that. I don't want to leave that behind. And I'm like, that's right, you don't. Okay, so I walked her through the process, and I walked her through the worst case scenario, and then worked on releasing that. And her too. She walked back into her house twice. That because in Montana, we know there are big fire hazards there. And twice it happened in her life, and twice she walked back into her house, and she's still living in her house.
Yeah, that's a very powerful process you just described, to consider the worst case scenario. If you lose everything, if it all goes south, if nothing works, if it fails miserably, if your wife or husband sees you fail, your kids see you fail, and you think, well, why would you think like that? Well, the thing is, it brings up something in us, and then there's a way to clear it, and then you're free.
But that's what you're doing anyways, right? You are bringing up the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing all the anxiety, and that's what's causing all the physical pain, because eventually it becomes physical pain, right?
Yeah.
And then what we do with the peace process is we go and we start breaking down those layers of all that tension, all that pain. And then eventually we come to a place of peace.
Yeah.
Then you're not thinking the worst case scenario. You're thinking, like, I'm the exception. My house is going to survive. My whole property is going to survive. I'm the exception. And then you come from that place. And that's the key, is to change the mind That's what they mean about getting rid, changing your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put a link in here because we are doing something right now. And I want to make sure everybody has this, a 4-part healing series. It's free. And it's about our Atomic Success Secrets group, the full program, which we're doing something really big starting next Monday. But right now it's free, 4-part healing. Let's just call it 4-part healing series. And I'm going to put the link in here so they can go grab it. Because what we found, you and I, over the years is, you might be thinking like, I don't have time for that. I just give me a good planner, give me like what to do in the physical world to get ahead. I just keep like listening to good inspirational videos. I'll jump up on my trampoline before I go do my video, or, I'll just give me the money and then I'll work on the inner peace stuff. But the funny thing is, if you clear this stuff, it literally opens the doorway to that abundance. And it's kind of like your prospective clients, your friends, your family, other people. If you think you can hide that negative stuff that's in there, it's really, what it's like. You can feel it. It's like you've got a broadcast speaker on your forehead, telling people exactly what you're thinking and feeling.
Exactly.
And they can tell if you're on a sales call, if you're trying to get your message out to the world. This is the most powerful thing I've found. It's why I spend some time doing it and why we do it every day in our group. But you and we're releasing a 4-part thing right now. It's up through the weekend. So grab it. It's right there and put it in the first comments. And there's different ways to use this to clear this stuff. Because Ilia and I like to see results. It's about seeing results. Like, we're not up here on mountains meditating with organic food and just around nice people, and we don't want to come into the world and do stuff. Now we're in the trenches, we're doing stuff, we've got to do stuff for our families, we'll do stuff for our clients' families. And so, you think, well, why are you doing this inner work like this? It's because it makes a difference in the outer work. So you get the inner right and the outer starts to really take care of itself. And Ilia and I are trying to get this message out. I hope we are reaching you to that this is a good way to spend a bit of your day. So we're walking you through it with a 4-part series. Go grab it. It's we're going to make sure it's in her group and my group. And anything else you want to say, Ilia?
Yeah, actually I do. Sure, you can have all kinds of little tips and tricks, and having the scheduler and doing the trampoline. I got one in my office. I'm doing, all kinds of yoga and meditation and stuff. And you could achieve a certain amount of success. And maybe somebody listening out there has a lot of success in financial, domain. But the thing what happens often is, if you still have that anxiety, if you still have that imposter syndrome, if you still have issues, you might not keep it. You might be making a ton of it, but it just goes out the other, it comes in, but goes right out. Or you have some issues around relationships. So if you don't heal the inner game, you won't be able to appreciate all that you gain. So doing this process helps you to actually live the life that you want to live, enjoy it.
That's so key, Ilia, because I've seen that over and over again. And I know you have too, of people making a lot of money clearing this. I mean, I love telling Bridget's story of $3,000 a month to $50,000 a month doing this. And but the thing is, how if you're making those kind of that kind of money, so many of the people they lose it, or there's so many of those people that are 2 Comma Club award winners, $1 million from one funnel. And I know one of my coaches,
they're just not happy. They're like,
well also I know one of them, one of my coaches says that a lot of those people, they made $1 million, but they spent $1 million and $50,000 to get it. And it's like, what are you doing? So that's a very important point. If
you want to enjoy what you have achieved, join our group. If you want to get to realize what you want, join our group.
yeah. So the 4-part free thing is there. It's in through the weekend. Join us and reach out to us, Ilia Kavoukis and Ralph Havens. Ilia, thank you. I think this is such an important message because, right now we're in really big times and so many people are having a really tough time. And, when I was when my son Ben was having a hard time reading and the teachers at the Montessori school couldn't figure it out, we went to this public school and they did all these tests on him, and they found out what was wrong with him. And so they said they were going to take him into a 4-hour class every day for the rest of the year, for the next who knows how long. And I asked him, okay, so I said, how long does it take to fix this thing up? And the psychologist looked at me and said, oh, he'll have this forever. This is just how it is. And I was walking out before I even got to the truck. I told my wife, Jen, I said, Jen, somebody has fixed this. And she got on the internet and she found a guy from England who was an engineer who had that problem when he was a kid, and still became an engineer, but had that problem with reading. He had 2 kids, 2 boys that had that same problem. He figured out how to fix it for them. And he made a big computer game program, and we tried it for free. And then we bought it. And within a month, Ben was good. Within 2 or 3 months, the teachers were like, what did you do? And so he didn't have a psychology degree. He didn't have a reading training. He just knew that he had fixed this thing for his 2 boys. So right now, there's so many people that can't do what they used to be able to do for whatever reason. The world is changing. And it's like, it could be a time to look inside and say, what do you really want to do? Like, do you have a gift? Can you help somebody? And a lot of the entrepreneurs are already doing that. Like, whether you have the degrees or the trainings, or if you help somebody and you can bring a gift to the world, I think it's the most important time. And I think clearing whatever is in your way, this inner stuff, I think it's the time. It's like this big opportunity for us. So I just want to put that out there, and thank you, Ilia, for joining us. I'm so glad you're in our group, and you're one of our healers, master healer, and we're having a lot of fun, and hopefully some people will come in and get the free 4-part thing and join us.
And we are having fun. I'm a jokester.
You are a jokester.
I bring fun. I call it pattern interrupts, whatever it is. It's amazing, and people are shifting and changing and experiencing all kinds of amazing stuff. So I'd love to have more people in the group.
Yeah, awesome. Well, look for the link. It's in the first comments. It'll be on Ilia's site too. We'll share it like crazy. Share it like crazy. And let's get some people healed up. Let's heal ourselves and heal the world. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the live stream and stop the